protesting workers at the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital have barricaded the entrance to the facility. The protest believed to be around unpaid bonuses and staff shortages. On the scene for Newsday, eNCA's Nickolaus Bauer. Nickolaus, good afternoon to you. The real problem here, and we'll get to the issue in just a moment, was preventing patients from either entering or exiting the facility. What's the position right now?
Well, I've got one of the members of staff here, the member of medical staff, Charlotte Maxeke Hospital. I'm going to bring him in right here. He's a student radiographer. Katlego, what exactly is happening here?
Okay, so these people are basically fighting for salary increment, and then the reason why they're damaging everything and kicking everyone out is because they want all the medical staff, all the cleaners, everyone that's working here in the hospital to participate. So some of us, we try to actually help with the patients instead of participating in the protest, and that's what's making them really angry about it. And today they decided to kick everyone out of their departments. They came earlier in our departments, they chased us out, so we had to go back to change our clothes so we wear casual and then we can start working, because when we're wearing uniform now it seems as though we decide to oppose the protest instead of having to actually participate in the actual protest.
This should be a problem that's been brewing for a while, I should imagine, if you say that today was the final straw and they kicked you all out.
Yeah, because it's been going on for a while. So it went down a bit, but then now the reason they actually mad is because now other hospitals have been protesting, and all the employees in the hospitals, like Leratong yesterday, everyone was participating, the doctors, the nurses, the radiographers, and the cleaners. However, with us here, some of the doctors and the nurses continued working, but then that's what's making everyone angry, because they're fighting for salary increment and they're thinking if the government gives them an increase, everyone will get it, whereas we didn't take part into the protest as well.
What position is this protest putting the patients of Charlotte Maxeke Academic Hospital in? If you yourself as a radiographer are unable to execute your duties, is there other critical physicians maybe in the ICU section that have also been chased away from their posts?
Yeah, well, personally speaking, from our department, we have to treat patients each and every single day. A patient is not allowed to skip a treatment because of cancer cells growth each and every single day. So once we skip a treatment in any day, however, that causes more conditions, bad conditions for the patient. And then also with the patients that are in ICU, patients that are in casualties, patients that comes with injuries also suffer a lot more because they need immediate attention. However, the doctors and the nurses cannot give them attention to that thorough level or the necessary attention they need, because they are being chased out, they are being beaten if they give attention to the patients.
So it's levels of intimidation and violence that you're facing. Yes. If you're not protesting.
Exactly, because they come at us with the aggressive attitude. They become so violent towards us, and there's nothing else that we can do because we are not protected anyhow.
Are the police or perhaps JMPD trying to break up this protest or try and open up the hospital again?
Well, earlier on we did try to reach out to the SAPS to come and protect us, but then they've been too violent, you know. They even managed to escape through the securities, but then so far I haven't seen any police. So I'm thinking by now they should be on the way, actually.
All right, thank you very much. That is a radiation therapist here at Charlotte Maxeke Academic Hospital describing a rather dire situation as patients are now bearing the brunt of this protest. We are unable at this stage to get the other side of the story. We're trying to get a hold of Nahawi representatives. They were on air earlier on. And as far as we can ascertain, this is over unpaid bonuses and also general wages, Jeremy. I'm not too sure whether or not this is directly linked to the public sector wage talks that are underway, but you can imagine the dire situation that's going on inside. We're unable to gain access at this point in time, but as soon as we do, we will be bringing you live visuals from Charlotte Maxeke Academic Hospital, where support staff, if you've just joined us, are staging a protest and preventing the hospital from undertaking normal duties.
Nickolaus, I just want to clear one thing up with you very quickly. If a patient is planning on going to the institution this afternoon, what I'm hearing from you is that it's going to be virtually impossible to gain entrance. Is that how you're reading it?
I should imagine so, Jeremy. I mean, the police have left now, but I'm going to ask Mashudu, our expert cameraman on the scene here, to follow me. These are the remnants of the protests here. I'm seeing one blue light coming towards the hospital now, but For all intents and purposes, there's no SAPS or JMPD on the ground, and there's nobody breaking up this, what I should imagine is an unprotected strike at this stage. Well, I'm no expert in terms of medical attention, but if all of the medical professionals are unavailable to give the normal care that they would be able to execute on a normal day, I should imagine that patients should perhaps consider their options or consider coming back at a later stage tomorrow or the next day, if that is a possibility. But as we heard from our radiation therapist earlier on, it's just a case of there not being any other options for extremely ill patients. We're going to try and gain access, Jeremy, and see whether or not they let us inside to see what the situation is on the ground. We're also trying to get a hold of Nahawu union representatives, the Gauteng Deputy Secretary joining us hopefully later in the afternoon.